Hey friend, welcome to On the Daily. I'm your host, Danielle McCleary, and I am a quantum business coach. I'm the host of this podcast. I'm a multi-six-figure entrepreneur, co-founder and president of HypeU Media, and CEO of Danielle on the Daily Coaching. What I'm really interested in is helping you live a life and have a business that is a full body yes. So through all of my education and all of my experience, I'm bringing you 2 episodes a week where I will guide you and give you the tools necessary to scale a massive, sustainable, and sexy business using your intuition, wealth energetics, and human design. What we can call it is business biohacking. So if you're down for that, then I say let's frickin' go. I'm so glad you're here. Hello, On the Daily family. Welcome back to the show. I'm so glad you're here. I'm excited about this episode because it's something that my clients are dealing with a lot right now. And it is really interesting. I think I've said this before, but usually like a lot of my clients will sync up and their blind spots or the things they're working through will kind of all be similar. And right now, this is something that is like very much going on in a lot of my clients' businesses. And that's this idea of like remaining neutral during heightened periods, right? So I'm going to talk a lot about that and kind of why it's so important to find this neutrality in the ebbs and flows of your business, because it makes a huge difference. And I'll share a little story about, what that means in my life and how that's manifested for me. So let's do this. Before we jump in, I just want to remind you that we are doing Founders Month with the Society, which is my membership platform for all masterclasses and group programs through the end of March. We're calling it March Madness. And you can subscribe to the Society for either $77 a month or $444 a month, depending on what you want. And you can have all masterclasses, which is the Masterclass Society, or you can have all masterclasses and group programs, which I think is the better bang for your buck, considering that most of my group programs usually cost somewhere between $800 and $1,000 or more. And for $440 a month, not only do you get every new group program that I'll launch, which will be like one a month, plus you'll get all of the on-demand programs that already exist in my library. It's kind of a steal and pretty amazing. And honestly, the best way to jump into my world. But that is going through the end of March, and then those prices will no longer be, and they will go up. And so if you want this grandfathered price and you just want a no hassle, easy, like, every month you're going to get a new masterclass and group program like delivered to your inbox. You also have an on-demand library of things that you can watch over and over and over again as you move through different seasons of your business. This is the way to do it. The link to register for that is in my show notes, or you can come to my Instagram, or you can go to my website, daniellemccleary.com/courses, #the-society to get that. So yeah, enjoy. Neutrality in business. This is a big one. It's one that we don't talk about enough, and we really should be, because it really is so important. And this isn't just neutrality in business. Like I think we do too much compartmentalizing, which actually goes perfectly with this episode today. We do a lot of compartmentalizing, and we treat our business separately than our life. We treat our life separately than our business. And I don't think we should be doing that anymore, because our life is our business. Our business is our life. It's all connected, all the things. But I want to talk about the neutrality that we have in our life and why it's so important. And I'm going to start off by sharing, I was taking a walk, whenever it was, with my dogs in my new neighborhood. And the way that our neighborhood is like, you can walk the streets of the neighborhood and walk in front of the houses, or our house backs up to like a nature reserve, which has like hiking trails, and there's like a creek down there, and it's this really beautiful thing. And my dogs, of course, are freaking obsessed. And so I was walking the other day and I was like, this is so beautiful. I'm so great. It's so amazing that I live here. And it was tripping me out because when we were building this house, like as soon as we got to Texas, like once a week, we were driving over here and we were taking a walk on that path, and we were sitting in our house that wasn't finished and like visualizing what it was going to feel like to stand in the living room and look out over the forest in our backyard. And I would stand on this path and like look out over this little creek and like visualize what it would feel like to wake up in the morning and like put some clothes on and go take the dogs for a walk. And it was something that I just practiced over and over and over and over again until it felt so real that there was no way it couldn't come to me. And sure, were there fears that came up along the way? Absolutely. That's normal. It was more of what I did with those fears and being able to decipher between this is my ego, this is my higher self. My higher self was never questioning whether or not we were going to get this house, whether or not we were going to get this life. My higher self was like fully confident and was like, don't worry, everything's going to work out. And even now, like we're spending, I mean, at this point, it's like probably $50,000 on like furnishing and painting and fixtures and furniture and paint and art and, you know, whatever else we're doing to get this house ready, like plus paying for the wedding, which thank goodness Breezy's family is helping us with as well. But like there's a lot of money going out and my higher self is so calm, cool, and collected. It's just like, it's fine. Everything's gonna be great. Like this is what you wanted. It's all gonna work out. I even like invested in a $55,000 investment into my coach for the year. Like there's so many things that I've been doing that are just so calm and cool and collected. However, my ego will still come in and be like, "Ooh, are you sure? This is kind of scary." And it's just really important that you start to like decipher between ego and higher self, but that's not what this episode's about. What this episode is really about is the neutrality of it, because people will go, isn't it crazy that you just like visualize that for a year and now it's like real? And I'm always like, it is and it isn't. Like, yes, I'm living my literal dream. Like when you have dreams as a kid and you imagine like your wildest dreams, this is what I always dreamed of, like having a big, beautiful house that we got to decorate the way we want, like out in the country with animals and deer in our backyard. Like this is what I've envisioned and I'm literally living it. And I have my family by my side and like, you know, it doesn't matter. I'm like unfazed by $50,000 months. I'm unfazed by $80,000 months. But what like really is crazy to me is that like I have this beautiful family and like I'll never get over that. I'll never get over this life that we get to live. So yes, it blows my mind. And no, it doesn't, because I believe that everything that I desire is on its way to me. I believe that everything that I desire, everything that's on my heart, every full body yes is because it's my higher self connected to my intuition, connected to God, connected to source, universe, whatever you call it. I do believe that. And so that's what I mean when I say it's crazy and it's not crazy. But here's the thing, a lot of my clients will, you know, if things are going on, and I'm not saying things haven't been going on. I mean, we were really sick for a while, like one virus after the next. Like we kind of got like a flu, then we got a really bad cold, then Owen got this crazy virus and like ear infections and pink eye and strep throat. And like we all were like down for the count. I had a horrible ear, like not inner ear infection, but an actual like a staph infection on the outside of my ear that could have very easily turned into bacterial meningitis. And it was really scary. And, you know, there's also like family drama, you know, my little brother, who's 2 years younger than me, like has a lot of pain and a lot of projection from the death of my dad and needed someone else to blame. And so like he disowned me a couple months ago and that's been stressful. And, you know, there's just been a lot of things that have happened, but the ability to remain neutral when good and bad things happen is the true flex of an entrepreneur. And I'm not saying like be numb. Neutrality is not numbness. And actually, I think when we go numb, that's a spiritual bypassing. You're not willing to feel your feelings. The neutrality is, can I feel my feelings while continuing to move forward and trusting that like everything I'm feeling is part of my human experience and part of the soul contract that I came here to experience. And that is what I work with my clients on. And that's what a lot of my clients are working through now. I have one client who is brilliant. Like she's brilliant, but you know, she's dealt with a lot over the past couple of months. Her husband has a very demanding military job. She is, you know, has pivoted so many times. She still works a full-time job. She's a stay-at-home mom. She, you know, she has like, there was a lot of sickness going around in her family. Like there's just been a lot of things. And for a while she was letting these things kind of like kick her back. And one of the conversations her and I have been having is like, I said to her, I said, you need to stop living your life with the mindset I'm taking 2 steps forward and 3 steps back, because what that does is it's quite literally bypassing the fact that every human emotion is normal. Everything we go through is the way it's supposed to be. And you're bypassing that when you are living this life with like, oh my gosh, I was doing so well and now I'm sick again and I'm taking steps back, because that is ignoring and being and like disregarding the fact that like you came here to be human. You came here to experience ebb and flow. You came here to experience yin and yang. You came here to experience good and bad, euphoria and grief. You came here to experience all of it. And that is the human condition. That is what it means to be human. And we don't think of it like that. We think of it like when we're not having a good day, when we're not feeling our best, when we're sick, when we, somebody dies, when, things are crazy or chaotic or whatever, we assume that something is wrong, when actually it could be a sign that like you are tuning, you are getting more in alignment and you're shedding old patterns. It could be a sign. It could be a divine like sign that it's time to expand your thinking. It's time to heal some trauma. It's time to, listen to your intuition more. It also could just very well be that you are a human being on this planet who's going to experience all of it. And your ability to move through all of these things is your biggest flex. So that's why I always say, like, I don't get like shocked when good things happen anymore. Like when we all these things that are happening with us right now in this house, and like, being able to afford the cloud couch from Restoration Hardware, and like, being able to just like charge $40,000 to an Amex for furnishing a house, like it doesn't faze me anymore. It's like, well, yeah, that's the life I desire. So naturally, but I also don't get fazed by when things don't go right. So when we were like riding high and then I was like, bam, hit with strep throat, I didn't let it slow me down. I didn't let it like throw me off course. And that is because I truly believe in the divine timing of my soul contract. I believe that I'm here to experience certain things at certain times. And the way that we do that, the way that we get better at it, the way that we move through these things, that is what determines your business. That's what determines the growth of your business. You cannot grow a business if you're still taking every negative day as a step backwards, right? Or if you're not. On the other side of that, you also can't expect to grow a business if you're not self-aware. So if I am constantly finding myself getting sick like every 3 months, that's a pattern. That is a pattern that I need to become aware of and ask myself deeper questions as to how to heal it. If every time I spend more than $20,000 on something, my central nervous system gets deregulated, then that's a sign, that's a pattern, that's a loop, that's an opportunity for deeper self-awareness as to why that happens at that threshold. And I've been there and I've had to like move through some of these things, but the ability to like let the ups and the downs and the ebbs and the flows and the yin and the yang of your life happen without it throwing off your central nervous system, without it deregulating you, that is literal magic. That is what it means to be human. That is what's going to grow your business more than any strategy around your product suite, any strategy around your pricing. That the ability to do that is self-leadership, baby. That is empowerment. I mean, these are all the things that I talk about inside of Launch with Power, my mastermind. And like, that's why I can't recommend that space enough, because these are the kind of conversations that we have and the kind of accountability that I hold for you and that your peers hold for you in that space. And me being in my own masterminds and having my own mentors, like people that can literally know me at a deep level and be like, this is a pattern for you, or why do you always feel like this? Or, being able to do that for my clients, that's why we grow, because we don't need to do it alone. And we think that we do. And then we get ourselves into these cycles of just feeling like we're stuck and trapped and like unable to move, when actually we are able to move. We are in control the entire time. And, the ability to not be so dramatic about these things. And like when we get to the point in our business where we're not dramatic about these moves, we're not dramatic about investing. We're not, if you're still like getting dramatic over investing in a $77 a month masterclass membership, then you cannot be surprised when you get sick and you feel like your world's going to fall apart. It's because you're not moving with this like neutrality in all areas of your life. Like, I can very easily pay my mentor $5,000 a month at the same time as charging $20,000 on my Amex to furnish my house, because I am regulated enough and I understand myself, and I know that making money for me is not hard. And staying committed to what I'm building is my mission. And I can do that with a level of neutrality and grace that's going to like continue to open up possibilities for me. Right? So just like take a look at that. Like take a look at your awareness. Take a look at your neutrality around things. Like how much are you compartmentalizing your life and not allowing your life to be this one big, open, beautiful canvas, right? I hope that was helpful. I hope this episode resonated with you, because this is something that I could talk about all day, and I do talk about all day inside of my containers. But, you know, if you're not in those containers, you don't necessarily know the conversations that you could be having. And I think it's important that you know, because again, people are not having these conversations in most settings. And that is why I find coaching and mentorship completely invaluable and something that every entrepreneur should have as a non-negotiable in their life. So come find me on Instagram if you want to talk about mentorship, jumping into some of these containers. If you are at a place where you're just ready to like soak up all information, jump into the society. It's the membership platform, and it's gold. It is absolute frickin' gold, and it's going to set your soul on fire in ways that you never have. And it's going to propel you into growing the business and the brand and the life that you really, really want. So I love you all, and I hope you have a good day. And thank you so much for being a part of this show. Make sure you share it. And as always, if you give me a review on Apple Podcasts and screenshot the review for me, I'm going to offer you a discount for any program of your choice that is of more value than $200. So anyway, love you all so much. Have a beautiful day.